The Life of Eri, My Hero Academia. Eri is the granddaughter of the Shie Hassaikai's boss. She was also the key source of Kai Chisaki's operation to manufacture a Quirk-Destroying Drug. Ever since she was rescued, she's been living at the UA dormitories. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Eri. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media accounts. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background. Eri is the granddaughter of the boss of criminal Yakuza, the Shie Hassaikai, through her mother. At a young age, she accidentally used her newly manifested quirk on her father, and it caused him to vanish. Her quirk resembled neither of her parents, so her mother believed her existence to be cursed and gave the girl up to her father. Her grandfather then left her in the care of his protege, Kai Chisaki, so that he could test her to identify her quirk as well as be able to sympathize, as it seemed as if they had similar quirks. However, her quirk was misdiagnosed and was in fact rewind and not vanish. After her grandfather fell into a critical state of illness, Kai took over the organization and then began to experiment on Eri to turn her quirk into a weapon. Through unknown means, he discovered that her blood had properties that suppressed the body's ability to manifest quirk factors, inhibiting someone's quirk. He'd manufacture them into bullets that are shot at targets and inject them with her blood. He did this by destroying Eri with his quirk, collecting blood, and then repairing her. He did this hundreds upon thousands of times, despite Eri's pain. Eri tried to escape and resist many times, but to no avail, and eventually accepted her fate as a prisoner. Shie Hassaikai Arc. Eri was running down an alleyway from Kai, mentally chanting she had enough of her treatment and wishing someone would save her. She bumps into Izuku Midoriya and Mirio Togata, and Kai catches up to them. Kai apologizes to Izuku for his daughter's behavior because she gets carried away with her fun and games. Mirio identifies Kai as a member of the Shie Hassaikai due to his mask, to which Kai states not to pay heed to his mask as he simply dislikes dirt. Kai asks Mirio the hero office he's affiliated with, and Mirio replies that they're still students participating in field training. Mirio and Izuku prepare to leave, but Eri tells Izuku not to leave as she starts shedding tears. Izuku tells Kai that his daughter is frightened by something, to which Kai replies that he scolded her. However, Izuku isn't convinced since Eri is clutching onto him tightly and suspects that there's more than meets the eye. Izuku asks about the bandages, which Overhaul replies that Eri falls down a lot. Izuku breaks the ice and asks Overhaul what he's doing to the girl. Kai gives in and tells the heroes to follow him as his situation with his daughter is an embarrassing topic. Kai, Mirio, and Izuku holding Eri follow Kai into the alley. Izuku and Mirio see Kai removing his glove and has killer intent. Suddenly, Eri runs to her father, causing Kai to stop removing his glove. Kai apologizes to Izuku and Mirio for Eri's tantrum and thanks them for listening to his worries, wishes the heroes good luck as he leaves with Eri. Mirio stops Izuku from going after Eri while commenting that Kai used his killer intent to make Eri listen to him. Back at the Shie Hassaikai's hideout, the subordinate in charge of watching Eri tries to apologize for letting Eri out of his sight, but Overhaul kills him on the spot for his failure, telling Chrono to clean up the mess. Overhaul takes Eri to his experimentation room. He tells her to stop being selfish because she's the crux of his operation. Days go by and Kai orders one of his subordinates to be the new caretaker of the girl, with the specific orders of becoming the kind of person Eri trusts. To achieve that, the subordinate treats the girl kindly and buys her lots of toys, but none of that works. One day, when he enters her room to check on her, he's surprised that Eri hasn't opened any of her toys. This frustrates him because he fears if he fails to gain Eri's confidence, Kai could kill him. Still, he continues with his facade of being a nice guy with Eri and pats Eri before he leaves. On her bed, Eri thinks about Izuku's warm embracing touch and how his hand felt different. She's never felt a hand so kind before, causing Eri to start tearing up. For several days, heroes from all across Japan continue to investigate all properties connected to the Shie Hassaikai, trying to find the place where they hold Eri. Sir Night-Eye manages to find the place when he uses his foresight in one of Kai's subordinates while buying a toy intended for little girls, discovering that he's Eri's caretaker, and thanks to that, she knows she's in the Shie Hassaikai headquarters and how to get her. With this vital information, he orders to start the raid immediately. The next day at 8:30, the police force and the heroes surround the Shie Hassaikai headquarters. However, Overhaul had anticipated their arrival, and he and Chrono prepare the 8 bullets to hold off the heroes until they can escape with Eri and the research. Several minutes after advancing through the underground labyrinth alone, Mirio catches up with Overhaul and Chronostasis. Overhaul recognizes Mirio Togata as one of the heroes he encountered when Eri ran away. The villain is surprised that Mirio was able to get to them so easily. Mirio claims he took a shortcut and is here to take Eri into custody. However, Kai is adamant that Eri doesn't want to be in Mirio's custody. 2 of the 8 bullets, Shin Nemoto and Deidoro Sakaki, appear to face Mirio and kill him, but the young hero manages to defeat them. With no time to waste, Lemillion phases through the ground and appears before Overhaul and Chronostasis and attacks simultaneously, taking them by surprise. Overhaul barely dodges his punch, and Mirio manages to hit Chronostasis. Chronostasis is launched away as Mirio grabs hold of Eri. Eri tells Mirio to run away, otherwise Kai will kill him. However, Mirio promises to never let Eri be sad again and tells her that everything is fine because he's her hero. Disgusted, Overhaul wipes dirt from his face and orders Eri to return to his side. Overhaul reminds her that when she acts selfishly, that he's the one who ends up with his hands dirty. He claims Eri was born to destroy others and she pleads with Mirio to run without her. Before Eri can speak, Mirio tells her not to listen to Kai. Kai mocks Eri for her existence being a curse, much to Mirio's chagrin, who wonders why Kai is saying such harsh words to his own daughter. However, as he takes off his glove, the villain reveals that was a lie, and he has no children, as he places his hand on the ground and deconstructs it using his quirk. Mirio phases his body while holding Eri up with his arms, protecting both of them, and is surprised at Kai's quick speed as well as his lack of regard for Eri's safety. Chronostasis has recovered from the previous attack and grabs a gun loaded with quirk-disabling bullets. Chronostasis targets Mirio's arm that's cradling Eri while Overhaul erases his cover. Lemillion cloaks them both with his cape, which throws off Chronostasis' aim. Mirio secretly phases through the ground and takes Chronostasis by surprise with an uppercut. Seeing that Mirio is stronger than he thought, Kai decides to break Mirio's morale by killing Eri. Eri watches the fight and is surprised at not only Mirio's strength, but the lengths he's willing to go for her. However, a defeated Shin Nemoto manages to drag himself to the place where the fight was taking place. Kai immediately throws a case of quirk-disabling bullets at him. Shin knows how valuable bullets are, so he can't waste a single shot. He knows he can't shoot Mirio because he would avoid the bullet with his quirk, but realizes that Mirio will do whatever it takes to protect Eri, so he aims his gun at her. At the moment before the bullet hits, Mirio reaches her and gets her attention so she can see him giving her a reassuring smile that says everything's going to be okay. Mirio covers Eri as the quirk-destroying bullet is shot into his body, which begins destroying Mirio's permeation. Overhaul mocks Mirio because everything he's worked so hard to cultivate has been destroyed to naught because of Eri. However, despite his quirk being destroyed, Mirio continues to fight and protect Eri for several minutes before getting badly wounded, buying just enough time for Izuku, Sir Night-Eye, and Eraserhead to smash their way into the room. Overhaul rushes at Sir Night-Eye, who's protecting Mirio and Eri, but Deku rushes into him and they struggle for a few minutes until Sir Night-Eye rushes into the battle and orders Izuku to protect Mirio and Eri while he handles Kai. Izuku goes to Mirio and Eri's location with his enhanced speed, and after seeing that they're fine, he opens a hole in the wall so they can escape. Eri apologizes because she considers that everything that's happening is her fault. Sir Night-Eye is defeated and is seriously injured. Kai goes past Sir Night-Eye and chases after Eri. Seeing him, Izuku decides to stay to face him while an injured Mirio tries to get Eri away from the place. While Izuku fights a merged Kai, in the hallway the damaged and tired Mirio Togata wills himself onward to grab Eri to safety. However, Mirio's body begins to give out due to the wounds and fatigue. Before falling unconscious, Mirio tells Eri that she needs to hide and wait for the others to come and find her. Back at the battle, Overhaul shouts so Eri can hear him, asking her if she wanted all of this. In the hallway, Eri stops in her tracks and remembers being disassembled and reassembled by Kai's hands. Eri runs back to Kai and replies to him that she never wanted any of this. A shocked Izuku tells Eri that she needs to stay with Mirio. Kai, revealed to be using Shin Nemoto's quirk, asks Eri if she thinks Izuku can overcome this situation by himself. Eri truthfully reveals that Izuku is not capable of doing so. Overhaul then asks what she must do to resolve this situation, to which Eri replies that she must return to him, and in exchange, Kai must fix everything back to normal. Izuku unlodges the spike from his leg and crushes it while loudly proclaiming that no one will die today and that he will save Eri. Then, suddenly, Ryukyu's group crashes through the roof with Rikiya Katsukame in tow. Without time to think about what was happening, Izuku runs to rescue Eri. However, Chisaki prevents Izuku from reaching her with a rock pillar, grabs her, and creates a giant pillar that raises them both towards the newly formed hole in the roof. Deku jumps and reaches out to Eri. As she and Overhaul head for the surface, Eri sees Mirio Togata's cape caught by debris, and by instinct, she grabs the cape after remembering Mirio's kind words. Suddenly, Eri begins emitting strange energy which starts affecting Chisaki, and rewinds his body before he fused with Nemoto, separating them both. After so much time of having lost hope of escape and resigned to being cursed, Mirio's words shook Eri's heart to the core and couldn't bear to see others hurt for her sake. She was further shocked that they refused to give up on her, which caused her to start developing a new feeling, the feeling of needing to be saved, and leaps into Deku's arms. Overhaul looks down at them from a stone pillar of his own creation and descends at his enemy before overhauling the mass into a series of spikes that he sends at Deku. Izuku isn't able to move well suspended in midair. Filled with utter determination, Izuku unconsciously activates One For All 100% and attacks Chisaki with a kick. Suddenly, Deku creates a shockwave that propels him and Eri to the surface while still in the middle of his swing. He surmises that he used too much of One For All power. Deku lands on the street above ground and is surprised that his legs aren't broken and have in fact been healed. Izuku realizes that his healed body is thanks to Eri's quirk ability. However, as soon as Eri lets go of him, Deku feels the repercussions. At that moment, Overhaul appears in a monstrous kaiju-like form. Overhaul explains that Eri's quirk allows her to rewind people either physically or genetically. He claims that she can't control her quirk and Deku will disappear if he continues to cling to her because all her power does is destroy. Izuku vehemently refuses to hand back Eri and thinks that Eri's quirk is a kind, gentle quirk contrary to Kai's thoughts, which shocks Eri. Deku asks that Eri lend him her power as he unleashes One For All full cowl at 100%. Fed up with Izuku's insolence, Overhaul attacks him with huge stone spikes, but Deku dodges the attack, sends Overhaul flying high into the sky with one kick. Then Izuku proceeds to speed blitz and exploits Overhaul's weakness with a powerful barrage of punches at using 100% of One For All, until he finally delivers a massive One For All full cowl 100% enhanced punch to Kai, which defeats him. As he lands on the ground, Izuku asks Eri if she's fine. Suddenly, Eri's quirk starts going out of control. Kai wills himself back into consciousness and attempts to attack Izuku with his stone hand in a last-ditch effort to get back Eri. However, Eri's quirk spreads near Kai, which causes his fusion with Rikia Katsukame to become undone, returning Kai back to normal. Ochako Uraraka apprehends the defeated Kai. Ryukyu returns to the surface with Tamaki Amajiki, Mirio, Shota, and asks for a report on the situation. Ochako explains that they've called an ambulance for Sir Night-Eye and that Izuku has defeated Kai but his power is spiraling out of control. In reality, it's Eri's quirk that's causing Izuku immense pain. Shota, thinking that he's erasing Izuku's quirk, disables Eri's quirk. Eri and Izuku fall unconscious as their quirks are deactivated. At 9:15, the Pro Hero's rescue operation to save Eri has been completed. Eri is sent to the hospital where she's admitted. She hasn't woken up since she was rescued, and her fever isn't going down. Eri has to be in quarantine because, based on Izuku's information about her, she's unable to control her dangerous quirk. Therefore, the most rational decision was to quarantine her for her sake as well as everybody else's. Under Shota's surveillance, since he's the only one who can stop Eri in case her quirk gets out of control again. Remedial Course Arc. At the beginning of October, a couple of days after her hospitalization, Eri wakes up, albeit still in a psychologically unstable state. For this reason, Izuku and the others are still forbidden to see her face to face. Her horn, where her quirk came from, had noticeably shrunk to the size of a lump when the fever went down. UA Sports Festival Arc. At the hospital, Izuku and Mirio are finally able to see Eri. Even though he saved her, Eri doesn't know Izuku's name, which surprises Izuku, but he informs her anyway. Eri apologizes them for all the trouble for her sake. However, she's unaware that Sir Night-Eye has passed away. Eri is guilty that Mirio lost his quirk because of her, but Mirio tells Eri that she's not to blame and everyone is glad that she's safe, which comforts Eri. Eri tries to smile but isn't able to. Izuku is aware that Eri hasn't recovered from her psychological abuse from Kai. Suddenly, Izuku has an idea and asks Shota if Eri can come to the school festival. As Shota phones Nezu to get his approval, Izuku asks Eri about his idea. Eri wants to get to know the people who saved her and agrees to go to the school festival. At the festival, she and Mirio are enjoying the show which Class 1A has set up, and she's happy when she sees Izuku perform as the ghost of Kai leaves Eri, finally. Pro Hero Arc. During November, Izuku is shocked to see Eri in the Class 1A dorms with Shota and the Big Three. Later, Shota reveals that she'll be living on campus in the faculty dorms, and Eri's horn has started to grow back a bit. And Mirio explains that the source of Eri's quirk, her horn, is growing back slowly, which is another reason Eri was transferred to UA. Shota can prevent her quirk from going out of control. Mirio will also help him take care of Eri and welcomes Class 1A to visit her once in a while since they'll all be busy. Later, while the professors watch on television the fierce battle between Endeavor against Hood, Shota Aizawa asks Eri to go to her room so she can't see the violent confrontation. Joint Training Arc. After the joint training battle, Shota wants Nato to copy Eri's rewind quirk. Deku and Mirio are with her, since Shota didn't want to leave Eri alone with Nato in case his eccentric personality could affect her mental health negatively. Nato attempts to copy Eri's quirk. He grows the horn that's required for its usage, but says that he's incapable of using the quirk itself because it's an accumulation type quirk. Nato explains that he can copy the fundamental abilities of a quirk, not something requiring stored up energy, as he can't copy what's already been stored. Nato apologizes for not being able to help more, but Shota thanks him for trying. Shota explains to Mirio and Izuku that as Eri doesn't understand how to properly use her power, he hoped that Nato's copy quirk would help her and make it easier for her to learn it as well. Eri feels sad and apologizes for causing everyone trouble, saying everyone would be better off if she didn't have her ability, but Izuku reminds her that it was her power that saved him, stating that what she said isn't true at all. He explains that what power is worth is all about how it's used, comparing it to how a knife is dangerous initially, but when used right, can make all kinds of food, and saying that her power is an amazing one. Eri says that she'll try her best after all. Endeavor Agency Arc. Eri makes an appearance alongside Shota at Class 1A's Christmas party, dressed in a Santa Claus outfit. Likely due to her upbringing, Eri is unfamiliar with most holiday tradition and so confuses it with other holidays. She brings Easter eggs rather than gifts, as one usually does at Christmas, saying trick or treat like in Halloween. Everyone's glad for her presence, with Ochako and Tsuyu complimenting her Santa outfit, saying that she's very cute dressed that way. Izuku notices that Eri's horn had grown some more. Shota tells him by saying that Eri is now much more positive and optimistic. Apparently, she took Izuku's words of encouragement to heart and is implementing a positive outlook on her life. During the gift exchange, she received a sword brought by Fumikage. While visiting his mother, Izuku reveals that Eri had handwritten a letter to Izuku, thanking him for the invitation. Paranormal Liberation War Arc. The big three are taking care of Eri in her room when she suddenly starts crying, saying that her horn's starting to feel unusual. While Mirio and Tamaki hurry off to look for Shota, Nejire stays with Eri, hugging and comforting her. Shota arrives and erases Eri's quirk, gently patting on her head and telling her not to worry. Eri is seen again with All Might watching the destruction of Jakku. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. This one was about the saddest girl ever, Eri, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.